Hello and welcome to the NorseForce RAIDER SK Modified Series race number 9 here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, and we are here for the Crockett Creek Beef Jerky 100, the penultimate race of the series, and the drivers are out on the racetrack just getting ready to finish up practice here and put up their qualifying times. Let's jump to the speedway and see what the drivers are up to here at the track tonight. Race number 9 out of the 10 race series. Gonna be a good one here tonight. J.R. Shepard comes in, your points leader. Let's take a look at those point standings. Put those up on the screen here for you. J.R. Shepard capturing the win last week at Richmond. He had a great race and was able to take the victory over Lucas Cram, who came home in second. And Lucas comes in here second in the points, just 6 back of your points leader. And looks like our margin's not updated there, but 6 points back of J.R. Shepard. And he's really the only one with a fighting chance to take the championship away. Both of them are here tonight. It looks like Lucas Cram is fastest right now in the practice session with a 17.841, so showing some speed early on in this session. And it looks like J.R. Shepard back there in the 8th position. And I think tonight's race going to be a very similar one to what we saw at Richmond last week. Going to be a lot of throttle time, not a whole lot of time off the throttle, and it's going to come down to making those moves at the right moment, not losing momentum. So it will be an interesting one to see where these guys end up, if they can play to their strengths here at the larger speedway that is Myrtle Beach. Let's take a look at our track conditions here tonight. Looks like 66-degree air temp and 69-degree track temp, so going to be a ton of grip for these drivers out here in the SK mods. As we're looking on to Lucas Cram here, the 044 machine, as he makes his way around the speedway. We want to give a big shout out to the sponsors of tonight's race, that is Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, as well as Blaze Pizza, Next Level Racing, and also the ButtKicker. And you can save 20% on your purchase of any ButtKicker product using the code NORSE20 at the ButtKicker website. Put that link there in the chat for you at thebutkicker.com. Save 20% off your purchase of ButtKicker products using code NORSE20. Feel what you've been missing with the ButtKicker products. Great products to add immersion to the simulator here in iRacing, as well as many other games. As we see Jeff Dooley, the number 12, who's looking to have another solid outing here. He came home with the top 5 at Richmond, his first of the season, looking to carry that momentum into the race tonight as he gained a points position, finds himself 9th coming into the race, and really only the top 2 with a shot to win the championship since they are both here tonight. And if one of them was not to show up, or both of them were not to show up for at least one race out of these final 2, the top 8 would still have a shot, but pretty much no matter where they finish here tonight, it's just going to be a battle between the top 2 in the point standings. So they are headed to what I believe is the qualifying session. And let's see who comes out on the speedway first. We've got Harrison Chandler, that number 2 machine. Looks like he is making his first start in the series. And we'll have to see what kind of lap time he puts down here as his first impression in the league. As he comes around turns 1 and 2, you've got those little rumble strips down low and can really upset the race car if you make contact with those. And then out of turns 3 and 4, almost similar to the corner at Gateway, it looks like. You have it down there, almost a bull ring, the Las Vegas bull ring style rumble strips, or turtle shells as they've been lovingly called at the Charlotte Roval. Definitely not something you want to run into with these open wheel race cars. Lucas Cram on the speedway, as Harrison Chandler does improve his lap time up to an 18.069, but Lucas is going to try and top that, and he will run a 17.955 on his first lap. Going to look to improve on that one. Looks like Christopher Hyatt with a 950 to the top of the board here. But Lucas Cram around for his second lap. He will run a 903. We'll see if Hyatt can top that. As he makes his way around, runs much slower. So the first lap was his fast lap. Joseph Sizek moves up to the second position. Jeff Dooley comes across. He'll put his name up on in the 4th position. And a few other drivers out on the racetrack. Richard Murray, a race winner from earlier in the season, he is out here ready to put his time in. And now starting his hot lap here. Let's go on board with Richard and see what it looks like from the inside of the race car. As Garland Bennett is your top driver at the moment. With just over half of qualifying left to go. Richard Murray goes up to second. He will bypass Lucas Cram. Going to try and improve on that time. Maybe not the run through turns 1 and 2 that he would have liked. Really cutting that corner tight. Washing up out of turn number 4. Can he improve? He will. But it will not be enough to get up to Garland Bennett. J.R. Shepard on the speedway. He rubs the wall there on his second lap. This is probably not going to count. And he's currently scored 6th. And if this stands, it will be his worst qualifying effort of the season. And his championship contender there, Lucas Cram, a few positions up in front. But we have seen JR come up through the field before, and would not be a surprise to see him do so at the start. And Ryan Libby out here, the number 43 showing on the race car. Shows 46 in our timing chart here, so that'll be one thing to keep track of here. As Libby puts in an 18.003, that moves him to 10th out of the 11 qualifiers. He'll try and improve on that here in lap number 2. Also the number 4 machine of Dave Fuge on the speedway. So Libby comes across here. He runs a 17.855. That will be good for the pole if it stands, and it will. Ryan Libby goes to the top. Dave Fuge rubbing the wall out of turn number 4. And that will not count, so he's going to have to try and get a lap that counts. Clean one here. A little struggle there in 3 and 4. He cuts it down low and maybe intentionally starting at the back. Looks like he will. So So John Houston, Josh Hedges, Matt Fortune not taking a time as of yet. And looks like they will not have enough time to do so. So Ryan Libby is going to be your pole sitter for tonight's race. Just his 6th start of the season. He has, this will be his 3rd pole, so has been very strong, and he led the first 70 laps at Stafford before making contact with the wall and exiting the race early. And J.R. Shepard went on to win that event, so Libby going to try and hang on to the lead for this one, and it will be 100 laps around the speedway tonight. Should be a very good race, so cheer on your favorite driver as they are about to head to the starting grid. And let us know who you're cheering for, and we will let them know by announcing it on the broadcast here. Let's go to our starting grid as the drivers making their way onto the speedway. On the pole, it's going to be Mr. Ryan Libby, the 46, showing as the 43 car on the racetrack, as they are now making their way onto the pit lane. Libby starting on the front row alongside Garland Bennett. Both those drivers running sub 17.9 second laps. Great lap times. And congratulations to Ryan for the pole here. In row number 2, it'll be Richard Murray rolling off in that 3rd position. Lucas Cram, 2nd in points, going to be rolling off from 4th here tonight. 5th will be Joseph Sizek in the number 53. 6th will be Christopher Hyatt in that number 13 machine. 7th will be points leader J.R. Shepard. His worst qualifying effort of the season, but we'll have to see if he can make his way forward in that number 98 car. Jeff Dooley going to be rolling off in the 8th position here. Brian Neff starting in 9th, and Zach Burek will round out the top 10. In 11th, last driver to take a time will be Harrison Chandler. John Houston going to be in 12th. Matt Fortune shows as 13th. Not sure if he is going to actually start the race. He may be adminning here tonight. Dave Fuge going to be rolling off from the 14th position here tonight. And in 15th, last driver on the field, Josh Hedges, another driver I'm not sure will be in the race, as we see 3 drivers in that top side, the back of the field not gridding up. So we'll have to see here if they make their way onto the racetrack before the pace car starts to move, but does not look like it at this moment. But we want to give a big shout out to our sponsor here tonight, once again Crockett Creek. Let's hear a quick message from them before these guys get rolling.
At Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, we don't have fancy Madison Avenue advertising. We don't have famous Hollywood endorsements. We don't have mythical creatures as mascots. See, here at Crockett Creek, we're proud of what we don't have. No artificial preservatives or chemicals, gluten-free, and no added MSG. Just all natural, small batch protein made in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains. Enjoy Crockett Creek Jerky, from our backyard to yours.
And back to the racetrack now, where we see Ryan Libby and Garland Bennett on this front row. They will go another pace lap around the speedway. Wait for that pace car to make its way off of the racing surface. Again, this is race number 9. Only one more race following this, so Lucas Cram really trying to set himself up to have a shot to beat J.R. Shepard for the championship. Those two have been the class of the field throughout the season. And really comes down to those two and how they finish here tonight to set themselves up for next week. Meanwhile, at the front, Ryan Libby, Garland Bennett leading the field around here, waiting for that green flag to fly. The 43 car down low, and he is going to get him going, but great jump by Garland Bennett as the green flag flew. The 43 with the preferred line. We see the 13 of Christopher Hyatt drop down to the inside as Libby takes control of the top spot. Garland Bennett under pressure from Richard Murray side by side for second place. As they complete lap number 1, we will bring up the ticker so you can follow along with your favorite driver. But out in front, it is Ryan Libby leading the way. Richard Murray, Garland Bennett side by side for second and third, and then Lucas Cram here in the 4th position right behind them. So things going well among the top 4. As they are starting to separate themselves from the 5th place driver in Joseph Cizek, but J.R. Shepard moves up to 6th now. And we will have to see if he can continue to make his way forward. Should be a pretty fun race to watch, that 98, as they are battling behind. Christopher Hyatt has gone the wrong direction, all the way back to 7th now, and in danger of losing more as Jeff Dooley takes the high line, and he's going to be able to complete the pass as they head down into turn number 1 once again. And he will move up to that 7th spot. Hyatt now back to the 8th position. After starting in 6th, he has gone the wrong way, even after a very solid start to this race. Oh, and almost contact between Zach Burek and Brian Neff. The 60 almost hooking the left rear there, but they stay off of each other, continue to make laps out here. Already 6 laps into the race, and at 17 to 18 seconds a lap, going to be a very quick event if we keep it green. But oh, Brian Neff does make contact this time. The 81 sideways, he hangs onto it. Stabilizes that race car after the contact with Brian Neff. But he will lose a lot of time along with Dave Fusion. Harrison Chandler, who had to check up for what was happening in front of them. But a good job saving the race car and preventing further damage. So we saw J.R. Shepard still in the 6th spot. He has Jeff Dooley all over the back bumper. And like we said, Dooley with his first top 5 of the season last week at Richmond. Knocking on the door once again here is the 53 of Cizek and the 30 of Garland Bennett side by side down into the corner, nearly touching wheels there. The 53 right down next to that inside wall. And Garland Bennett gonna run the high line there and keep the momentum in the race car. He captures the 4th position back away as we complete now lap number 10. Richard Murray is your leader. He has gotten out in front of Ryan Libby and Lucas Cram. And Richard winning the race just a few weeks ago. He won at Lanier before the off week we had just a couple weeks ago. And great race there. He, I believe, led flag to flag. He did. And now showing off some speed once again here at Myrtle Beach. Lucas Cram up 1 position from where he started. Still 3 positions separating him and J.R. Shepard. But Shepard now looking to make the pass on Cizek. He goes to the inside, trying to complete that in turn 1. Right up next to those turtle shells, those rumble strips that are down low. Unable to complete the pass as of yet, but 53 goes very wide out of the corner there. That may be enough. Down into turn 1 again. Does not look like he can. Now he'll clear the 53, and now the 12 will go to the inside to battle. As Zizek tags the wall, it really slowed up his momentum. The 12 of Dooley will move up to the 6th spot behind J.R. Shepard. Dooley up 2 positions. J.R. Shepard up 2 positions. And Garland Bennett back 2. He is going the wrong way as he washes up the racetrack a little bit there. Those 2 behind him start to gain some ground. But this all going on about 2 seconds back of your leader, Richard Murray, who is running the fastest laps, some of the fastest laps on the racetrack. But Ryan Libby closing back in that time, over a 10th faster than the 08 out in front. And if you are just tuning in, this is V-Speed. My name is Adam Baker. This is the Crockett Creek 100 Race 9 of the NorseForce RAIDER SK Modified Series. And the battle for the lead is what you see on your screen. That is Richard Murray, Ryan Libby, who are now about 1.1 seconds up on 3rd place. Lucas Cram, who comes in 2nd in the points. Just 6 back from your leader in points, J.R. Shepard, who is a few positions back. So Luke is trying to close that gap, also trying to gain back on the leaders, what he has lost here over the past few laps. As the battle's starting to heat up back here between Shepard, Dooley, and Garland Bennett. Take a look out the nose cam of Jeff Dooley here, as he was on the outside of J.R. Shepard a little while ago. You can see the 98 drift up on entry, cut down to the center, and he is all over the back bumper of Garland Bennett. And Dooley, a little different line. He rubs the wall there while we have the camera on him. Joseph Sizek comes back into the picture now, so everybody trying to find some type of an advantage with such little off throttle time. It is hard to do so. As Richard Murray, Ryan Libby continue to stretch the gap out over Lucas Cram. Lucas starting to fall into the clutches of these drivers behind him. Brushes the wall that time. And Lucas made his debut in the Valhalla Cup Series just yesterday. And I don't remember exactly where he finished, but let's take a look. He came home with a top 10 finishing in the 7th position, so not a bad effort in his first race over there. But he has been one of the top drivers in this series with 2 victories, as J.R. Shepard now looking to the inside of Garland Bennett, unable to complete the pass, and the 30 will slam the door. That allows Dooley right to the back bumper of the 98, and he will push him out of the corner as they complete lap number 25, quarter of the race down. 75 laps to go in this one. The 98 trying to find his way closer to the front, but it is not happening right now. Lucas Cram still fading. He's one of the slowest cars on the speedway. He is running 3rd, but definitely fading fast. Not sure if it's a result of pushing the car too hard. But fastest driver on the speedway is Ryan Libby, who's in the 2nd spot, just 1.5 tenths back. Really just about 5-6 feet back. As he loses a little bit there out of turn 2, gains it all back out of turn 4. And that time by fastest driver on the track was Jeff Dooley in the 12, and we have a caution on the speedway. Looks like the 53 machine of Joseph Sizek going around, and that is going to bunch everybody back up. Let's see what happened to the 53. So 53 down low, 30 of Garland Bennett up high. Garland, like we said, started on the front row. Oh, and the 53 just comes up into him. It sends Garland around. Brian Neff nowhere to go. And that is going to blow the engine of the Winn-Dixie number 60. Take a look from Brian's in-car cam here. He goes down to the inside. The 53 comes down. Nowhere for Brian to go, and that is going to cut his race short. Joseph Sizek going to have heavy damage. He was struggling to get it in reverse there. But he will stay on the lead lap. Now brings it down the pit lane. And we'll have to see what kind of damage he can get repaired. Obviously, no tires can be taken in this series. And they have to run the entire race on the same set, which does factor in if you've pushed the car a bit too hard in the opening laps. We'll see if Richard Murray or Ryan Libby start to fade here with the heat cycle that's going to happen on the tires. Pace car lights are on. We're going to cut quickly to another commercial break from one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Back at the track now. Should be getting the 1 to go this next time by. And pace car lights do go off here. Richard Murray elects the inside lane. Ryan Libby going to be on his outside. So these two will lead the field here after caution number 1. To recap, just the 1 caution so far and 1 lead change. And that saw Richard Murray take it away from Ryan Libby, and they remain the top 2. Down through turns 3 and 4, waiting for that green flag. They will get going. Richard Murray with the early jump. That's going to open the door now for Lucas Cram to go to second as he tries to run away from J.R. Shepard, who's closing in now. Shepard up to 4th. Ryan Libby falls to the 3rd position here. He's going to get right to the back bumper of Cram, and we've seen Lucas start to fade on the long run here. But J.R. Shepard now up to the 3rd position. He's right on the back bumper of Lucas Cram. Those two fighting for the championship. With only 1 race to go after this, it's going to mean a whole lot who finishes in front of who. And Lucas needs to do everything he can to try and stay out in front. Still a long ways to go in this race. But we're approaching halfway. Just about 20 minutes or so into the race. And J.R. Shepard going to swing it to the low side. Lucas trying to fight back up high. Gets a good run out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. They go. These two, your championship contenders. Oh, contact. The 044 gets shot up the racetrack. And that is going to cost him some time. Now Jeff Dooley goes to the inside. And Ryan Libby down in there as well. Really tight racing among this group of cars. You can see him down into the corner. The 044 looking for a way to get back down to the low groove. Carrying some pretty solid speed up high. The 12 of Jeff Dooley up the racetrack. Nowhere for the 044 to go. He makes contact. Dooley goes around. Libby goes around into the pits. And wow, what a sequence of events there. Lucas Cram able to survive, but let's go back and Jeff Dooley, Lucas Cram, and Ryan Libby. We had a pretty good view of it before. The 044 of Cram tries to split the difference there, makes contact. That sends the 12 around the 43 of Libby. Let's go on board with him. He got lifted up off the ground and swings it down, hits the end of the pit lane and backs it into the wall. And that is going to be most likely the end of his race. As he does bring it to the pit lane. Looks like he's 2 laps down. Probably going to call it a night. So Ryan Libby, once again, starting on the pole, not going to get the result that he was hoping for. Jeff Dooley also on the pit lane. He's going to have heavy damage. Lucas Cram still in the 3rd position. Not sure what race admin is going to call on this. We'll see if the 044 gets any kind of a penalty for the contact. But it looked to be just kind of a sequence of events. Little bit of internet. Little bit of internet connection issues going on there as well. But this brings out another caution, and we are going to go quickly to another commercial break, and we'll be right back with the green flag.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
At Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, we don't have fancy Madison Avenue advertising. We don't have famous Hollywood endorsements. We don't have mythical creatures as mascots. See, here at Crockett Creek, we're proud of what we don't have. No artificial preservatives or chemicals, gluten-free, and no added MSG. Just all natural, small batch protein made in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains. Enjoy Crockett Creek Jerky, from our backyard to yours.
And back at the racetrack now, Richard Murray and J.R. Shepard on the front row, approaching the halfway point after caution number 2. Lucas Cram did receive an EOL penalty, so he's going to be in 7th or 6th as they take the green flag to get back going once again. As we see the rest of the field here on this restart. Right now, Dave Fuse, Joseph Sizek, the final 2 drivers on the lead lap. Jeff Dooley still sitting on pit lane. Brian Neff, Ryan Libby, and Zach Burek have all taken it behind the wall here tonight. Whereas Josh Hedges, John Houston, and Matt Fortune did not start the race. Richard Murray continues to lead. He is already spread out about 3/10 from J.R. Shepard, but I would expect the 98 machine to continue to stay in arm's reach. He's already up 5 positions from where he started, looking for his 6th victory of the season. Lucas Cram trying to find his way back up towards the front, now closing in behind Christopher Hyatt and Garland Bennett. And Garland Bennett trying to get closer to the front where he started. So Lucas Cram right around where he started here, trying to recapture that 4th position away from Hyatt. Looks like he's making good progress down on the low line. There's maybe a little bit of contact farther back. I think Harrison Chandler might have rubbed the wall there. But Harrison out here in the 6th position in his first race of the season. Up 5 spots from where he started, so doing a solid job here to keep that car pretty clean and on the racetrack. And Dave Fuse right here behind him, started back 14th. But he is shown as the 7th place driver at the moment. Joseph Sizek, last driver on the lead lap, in the 8th position after starting in 5th. And all of these guys well behind our leader, Richard Murray, who still has pressure from J.R. Shepard, but Murray leading 44 laps now out of the 52 that have been completed. So really showing the way. It looks like a very similar race. What we saw is he gets a bit sideways down there. That'll allow the 98 to close in just a touch. And the 08, the 98 showing the way. Garland Bennett back here in 3rd. He's gotten a little gap between himself and Lucas Cram. Cram up to the 4th position, doing a nice solid job here to regain all those spots after that. Oh, looks like Bennett into the wall. Let's see what happened. Just coming out of the corner a little bit too hard. He rides that wall almost up on the 2 wheels. And that will send him back to the 5th position with steering issues, it looks like. Christopher Hyatt was able to complete the pass around him. Cram will move up to 3rd, just 1 spot back of J.R. Shepard, but the battle for the lead is on. Down here into the corner. Oh, the 08 of Murray goes around Shepard. Checks up. But that is going to I think that's probably going to send him to the back of the field. We'll have to take another look at how this happened. But that is going to bring out another caution here tonight, folks. They were racing it out side by side. It's the next set of corners. The 08, the 98. And JR maybe sent it in a little deep. The 08 started to come down the racetrack. And Richard Murray, who has led so many laps, maybe even contact after the fact with someone else. Oh, the 13 of Hyatt couldn't get it slowed down, and he made some contact there. The car just seemed like it went up the racetrack and he had nowhere to go. That is going to hurt the 08 of Murray, though. Probably going to be some steering damage after he made pretty much dead-on contact with the left front wheel. We'll have to see what Richard does here, if he's able to be competitive for the second half of the race. And we want to hear from the fans here who you are cheering on to take the victory tonight. If you are tuned in and enjoying the race, cheer on your favorite driver, and we will let them know you're out there. As J.R. Shepard shown in the lead, Lucas Cram right there in second, Garland Bennett third, Harrison Chandler up to the fourth position. And it could be a close race on fuel. I think we heard the 98 just shut the engine off. He's clutching it at least. So a whole nother factor thrown in here. And we will have to see if JR is able to preserve enough fuel, or what these guys behind him are doing. And perhaps they saved a little bit early. Right now Lucas Cram is not clutching. J.R. Shepard still is. Doesn't sound like Garland Bennett is, so mixture of strategies here under this caution. And I don't know if anyone... Joseph Sizek just coming off the pit lane. He had a 24.5 second stop. Dave Fuge, Harrison Chandler did stop 30 laps ago. So they will be good on fuel. The question is, will the rest of the field, the drivers who have not stopped, being J.R. Shepard, Lucas Cram, Garland Bennett, and Christopher Hyatt, are they all going to be good on fuel? As Shepard with the lead now, Lucas Cram up there on the high side. Not a great jump. The advantage going to the 98. It looks like Lucas going to be able to slot into second in front of Garland Bennett. And we saw, I believe Garland got into the wall earlier. Not sure if that affected the steering or the handling of that race car, but it looks to be pretty solid right now, as he is all over the back bumper of Lucas Cram. Out of turn number 2, the gap just about a car length between them. And the gap between Cram and J.R. Shepard growing. That time by J.R. Shepard fastest on the racetrack by about 0.04 of a second. Cram was second fastest, but Garland Bennett third fastest. So as they run on track, that was their speed ranking. This time by, though, Bennett all over the back bumper. Lucas Cram throws the block here going down into turn 1. As he sends it in low, that's going to allow the 30 to get the run out of the corner, but he does not get a great exit. And the gap now up to over half a second between J.R. Shepard and Lucas Cram, and that continues to grow. As Cram, that time by about a half second, or a half tenth slower than the 98. And J.R. Shepard looking for his second straight here, if he can capture the victory tonight. Still a decent ways to go, about a third of the race left to be run. This would be his second in a row, and it would be his 6th on the season. And we have this is only the 9th race, so extremely dominant, but it is amazing that Lucas Cram is still in contention with only his 2 victories, only a 6-point gap coming into the race, but as it sits, that would grow to 7 points, and that is a tall order. Basically, the 98 would have to be wrecked out next week or not start and Lucas would nearly have to win the race. And the top three have broken away. Dave Fuge back here in fourth, under pressure from Harrison Chandler. Both of these drivers, probably your biggest movers, with Fuge up 10 positions from where he started. Some connection issues though for the 4 machine. Harrison Chandler up 6 spots from where he started. Christopher Hyatt right back here in the same spot as where he started this race in 6th. And Joseph Sizek back a couple spots from where he started in the 7th position. Richard Murray is still on pit lane, so he is done leading 48 laps. Going to be the most laps led here by far. J.R. Shepard going to be closest if he leads the rest of the way, and the gap still growing between himself and Lucas Cram, now up to 9/10 of a second as they swing across the line there to complete lap number 73. And not sure if they're going to be able to make it on fuel. Like I said, it's going to be close. We saw J.R. Shepard saving under the last caution. Nobody else really saving. And we know that Fuge and Chandler back here pitted much later, 30 laps later. Or 30 laps into the event here. As, oh, we've got somebody going around. Lucas Cram, I think, spinning it here. And let's go take a quick look and see what happened to Lucas, but caution going to fly on the speedway. And Lucas Cram was in 2nd place, trying to close in on the leader. And Garland Bennett closed right in on him. Gets to the back bumper, bit of contact, and they make contact a few times. Good save there by Lucas to keep it going all the way around, and that will keep him in the 3rd position. And that is going to help these guys in terms of their fuel mileage, I think. Lucas obviously not happy with Garland Bennett, knowing that the championship somewhat on the line here, depending on where they finish tonight. And any damage like that is only going to hurt Lucas's chances of keeping up with the 98 machine. And now 77 laps completed. Pace car leading the field around here. Let's take a look at our race recap. 4 cautions, 3 lead changes. Your top lap leader in Richard Murray, currently sitting on pit lane, 18 laps down, and most likely done for the evening. Going to finish in the 8th position. Your pole sitter Ryan Libby caught up in a bit of an incident earlier on. He is going to finish in the 10th spot, 38 laps down at the moment. And I am not sure if Lucas Cram is going to get this 2nd position back or not. We'll have to see where iRacing scored them, where the admins are determining fault for this caution. Not sure if Garland Bennett going to get some type of an EOL penalty here or not. But they continue to make laps here under caution. And we want to thank you for tuning in here so far to V-Speed, bringing you these Raider SK modified races. We are live on Twitch right now, and we're here multiple times throughout the week. So follow or subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate that and appreciate you tuning in here tonight. If you like the action you see on track, you can see previous races from these guys over on YouTube at V-Speed Media, where we post race replays as well as other interesting automotive and racing related content. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/VSpeedSim, where we post race announcements for each and every broadcast. And you can also find those announcements on Instagram and Twitter. As we head back to the racetrack, pace car lights are off. It's going to be Lucas Cram, J.R. Shepard on the front row. And Lucas is going to really have to work to time this restart. And a decent jump there, but J.R. Shepard's still going to get out in front, but plenty of room for Lucas Cram to drop down in line here. And try and chase down J.R. Shepherd. As they fight for third now. Dave Fuse, Harrison Chandler, they get into each other. That's going to send them around. Big incident on the back straightaway. Harrison Chandler nearly going up and over. A lot of damage on the number 2 car. And it looked like Garland Bennett or Christopher Hyatt, one of those drivers, caught up in this. So caution coming out almost instantly. Let's take a look at what happened here. Oh, just realized I was muted for most of that. So we're down to just 6 cars on the racetrack. Dave Fuse, Richard Murray on the pit lane. Fuse looks like he is taking it behind the wall. So J.R. Shepherd is your leader. Going to be a little more than 10 laps to go when we get this thing fired back up. J.R. Shepherd looking for his 6th victory of the year, which would almost certainly cement a championship. But Lucas Cram giving it all he's got here tonight, and he has maintained this 2nd place position for quite a while now. But he is going to have to give it everything he's got in this last run as pace car lights are off. We're going to be going green this time. As they go side by side down through the corner here. Green flag back in the air. The 98 of Shepherd with a good jump once again. But Lucas Cram still about a car length back down into turn number 1. Shepherd's so good on these opening laps of the run. And Lucas Cram going to have to find something, but he does have some damage on that race car. And he is really wheeling that thing. Let's go on board as he tries to chase down J.R. Shepherd and improve his chances of potentially a championship next week. Any spots that he can get over the 98 would be enough to close the gap a little bit. As he comes in 6 points behind as they run, it's going to be 7 points leaving here. And he just cannot seem to close the gap. The 98 of J.R. Shepherd so good on corner exit. But maybe a little wiggle there. And this would be back-to-back wins for JR if they can finish it out here as they run. Well, Garland Bennett going to bring it to the pit lane. Looks like he has some issues with the race car. Christopher Hyatt out on the speedway. Joseph Sizek back here. He's up to 4th now. Just by running this thing out, he has survived. And now 10 to go, coming to 9 to go. Things wrapping up quickly. It does not look like Lucas Cram has enough at the moment, but he might be able to find something here. And still enough time if he can do it. J.R. Shepherd looking dominant as always. This is his race recap. Started 7th. He has led 34 laps and he finds himself in the lead. Lucas Cram started 4th. He led just 1 lap in this race, but finds himself in the 2nd position with a shot to try and take a win away here. Just 2 car lengths the gap between them, and they have driven away over 5 seconds now in front of Harrison Chandler. The gap just 2 car lengths between these 2 drivers who are going to be fighting to the bitter end next week if they finish up the way they are here. If Lucas Cram can somehow get the win over the 98, that would improve his chances, but the points would be not in his favor with the field sizes we've had. It would take the 98 nearly wrecking out next week, and Lucas having to finish up towards the front, probably at least the top 3 no matter what the circumstances. And 5 to go, coming to 4 to go here. The 98 a little bit wide on the corner, but looks like Lucas maybe brushed the wall. The gap still 2 to 3 car lengths, and not enough time remaining, I don't think, unless J.R. Shepherd makes some type of a mistake here. This is probably going to be how they finish up. J.R. Shepherd out in front. Lucas doing everything he can, but it is not enough. The man out in front, he's won 5 races out of the 8 so far. Lucas has 2. The only other driver to win was Richard Murray 2 races ago. But this season has been the J.R. Shepherd show, and coming to the white flag this next time by, all he has to do is make 4 more corners and he is in prime position to hang on to this championship. White flag in the air. J.R. Shepherd coming around here through turns 1 and 2. Lucas Cram still 2 to 3 car lengths back, but not close enough to make any kind of move here as they head down into 3 and 4. J.R. Shepherd, nice and smooth through the corner out of turn 4. He's going to win at Myrtle Beach, the Crockett Creek 100. Race number 9 of the NorseForce RAIDER SK Modified, his 6th victory of the year. And doing it in style here. 43 laps led, started in 7th and charged all the way to the front. Lucas Cram finishes 2nd after starting in 4th, but just short, as we are waiting for JR to do some more burnouts here, and then we'll jump in with the post-race interviews. Looks like he's going to bring it straight to victory lane. Trying to get that thing righted here. And he is going to call it there. So J.R. Shepherd comes home your winner here tonight. Let's see if we can get these guys into the booth here. And we will just jump in straight away with J.R. Shepherd. J.R. Shepherd, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Hey, I got you, Adam.
Well, JR, you had to come through the field to do it tonight, but you come out on top once again, your 2nd straight victory, and only 1 more to go. You maintain the points lead. How'd you do it here tonight?
I did not have the short-term speed. First, 10 or 15 laps at the beginning of the race, I didn't have the speed, so really just trying to take care of the tires. It seemed like as the long run went on, I knew that the car would come in a little bit better for me compared to what everybody else was seeing. So just kind of trying to be patient. And then when I went to race Richard for the lead there, I know they said it was net code. I haven't seen it, but that's not what I wanted to happen at all. Again, I know it's net code, but that stuff's avoidable, and I'll take the blame on that one.
Yeah, it was a lot of really hard racing here tonight. Looked like there were a few incidents with that, so might have just been the server you guys were in here tonight. But either way, you made a lot of passes here, on the restarts as well as just under green flag conditions. And like you said, you didn't have quite the start that we maybe expected. You gained a couple spots, but then kind of stayed stationary there around fourth, fifth. So were the restarts that important here tonight to try and make up as much as you can as early as possible?
Yeah, I think so for sure. The outside was decent for a lap or two after restart, but if you were on the inside and you hit your marks and you rolled the bottom really well, then you could eventually pull that pass off. But again, with the way the net code and some of these servers have been going, it's really tough, especially in these modifieds where they're open wheels. You can make very little contact, which is different than the real life car. So it's a little frustrating on that, but yeah, it'll get better, and hopefully we had some decent racing tonight. I didn't get to see all of it.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun one to watch. At points, it was a 2-car breakaway. Sometimes we had 4 or 5 cars up at the front, so some really competitive racing out there. Not too many cautions at the track tonight. So either way, you come out the victor. You're second in a row. You're 6th on the season. Just an incredible season so far, and only one more race at the Bull Ring next week. So, what are you thinking on going out there?
I really like the bull ring. It kind of fits my driving style a little bit. It's one of those places that's really line critical. Unfortunately, the outside doesn't work real great there, so I don't know how much side-by-side racing we're going to have. But yeah, the bull ring's a very technical track, and it's one of those things where you might not be able to put the fast lap down initially, but if you can save your tires and hit your marks lap after lap, you'll do extremely well there. So hopefully we'll be able to go out there and have a decent run and finish off the season.
Yes, sir, and I'm sure it will be a great run once again for you. You're on a hot streak here. I think, if I remember correctly, it's probably at least 3 or 4 top 2 finishes in a row. So, obviously been very dominant here, and I would expect that to continue even next week. But you still have Lucas within striking distance. He's going to be your only challenger for the championship, I believe. So it'll be a fun one to watch. But either way, you come home the winner tonight. Anyone you want to give a shout out to for the victory?
Yeah, again, just want to thank the NorseForce Racing League for allowing us to be able to do this on Thursday nights, and V-Speed for broadcasting it. You do a great job, and again, Lucas has ran a great season. We've had some good battles, and we've raced hard, but we've done it, pretty clean. So, he's done a great job, and I expect him next week. He'll be up front, and it'll be tough to be able to keep up with him. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him for the season he's had, and hopefully we can go to the bull ring next week and finish it off.
Yes, sir. We're looking forward to it. Well, congratulations on the victory once again here tonight, and go celebrate. We will catch up with you next week.
All right. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it.
Thank you. That was J.R. Shepard, your winner here tonight. Let's go to second place finisher Lucas Cram. We bring him up into the booth now. Lucas, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I'm clear.
Well, Lucas, you made your debut in the Valhalla Cup Series yesterday. You got a nice solid finish there, and unfortunately not the victory tonight, but you come home with another runner-up finish. Within striking distance at the end, just what do you think you had to do there differently to have any shot to catch JR?
BJR. I don't know. I know. I feel like every week now I'm finishing second to him, but yeah, it was. I really felt fast in practice. I ran the fastest lap, and really felt I had a lot of confidence, honestly, going into qualifying the race, and he was kind of further down the leaderboard, just couldn't quite figure it out, and I messed up a lot qualifying. It kind of started lower than I wanted to, but it was still decent enough to where I felt like I could have, taken advantage of JR being a little bit off pace and try to gain back some of those points. But yeah, it was an interesting race to say the least. It started out pretty clean and green for a while. Like about the first quarter, I believe it was green the whole way, and then after that, it was just kind of a caution fest, unfortunately. But yeah, and it's really turns 1 and 2 was really hard to be consistent, I guess, at least for me. trying to just get next to that curb down there, because the curb doesn't curve like perfectly the same way through the whole corner. It kind of juts out at you in some parts, and then goes back in, and then if you do hit it, it like will destroy your car and send you straight in the fence. The little like bumps. So I just couldn't quite get that down, and just enough, and somehow I was able to kind of get near JR there. But yeah, he's a fast learner, I guess. He just kind of managed to learn, learn exactly how to drive it, and beat everybody else in the race, throughout the race, and then at the end, obviously. So I believe this mathematically locks him up as a champion. So huge congratulations to him, and I guess we'll try to go home with second place.
I think you still have a shot going in next week. It's going to be a 7-point gap between you two. So yeah, you still have a fighting chance. It's going to take, I think, a little bit of misfortune on his part, or just not a great run. But we go to the bull ring, so you think you got a good shot going in there?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I haven't done much with bull ring, but there's actually 2 drop weeks, so 2 worst finishes get dropped, and his are 4th and 10th. And so I did the math, and I needed him to finish 3rd or worse tonight in order to have a chance at the championship. So with him claiming the win, if he finishes poorly next week, it's just going to get dropped. So it doesn't really come into play, unfortunately. But yeah, I think the bull ring is going to be tough. It's really, really short track. It's going to be really hard to pass, I believe, there, and it's going to be just kind of get in the gas and you brake and you turn to the corner, and it's just going to happen like that super fast. So I think that's going to be quite a bit of fun. It's definitely a very unique racetrack, like Myrtle Beach is as well. And so I think I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, 10-4. Thanks for filling me in on the drop weeks. I was not aware of that. But, there's always the victory, waiting there for you. So that is something to fight for sure. And you've been right up in the fight all season long. So what does it mean to be challenging JR for the championship so far into this season?
Yeah, it's been a ton of fun. Obviously, it's more fun to have really great competition, and something to try to look for. Try to get there and just get better. And there's a lot of leagues that have really low car counts with really bad drivers, and you can go in there and spank the field every week, but you're not learning anything, and becoming a better driver, racing guys better than you, or guys just simply competing with you. So it's been a ton of fun racing JR. I've learned a ton of things just from being racing around him and watching him in practice and whatnot. It's been a blast, and obviously he's a really good driver, and has been pretty much dominating for the most part this series at this point. I think this is the 6th win out of the total 9 we've run so far. So yeah, he just keeps figuring it out, even when he starts out down like it was tonight, and just gets out there at the end and is throwing the fastest laps of the race. So yeah, like I said, it's been a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to next week. I believe it's the finale. So it is the finale. I'm not sure what Matthew's plans are for next season, but it's gonna be a ton of fun next week, and then hopefully I can get a chance to race him again next season.
Yeah, and we are definitely looking forward to the conclusion next week. And then hopefully we get a better idea of what the points standings are and how that all works out after tonight. But a 2nd place finish here. This is your, I believe, 3rd out of the last 4 races. So
I believe
finished,
it.
yeah, you finished in the top 3 all but 1 race, and that was the 2nd race at 5 Flags. So just been a great season. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for tonight's runner-up finish?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, huge shout out to Matthew and John, who filled in for Matthew, who's gone tonight. Did a great job running and officiating the series as always. Huge congrats again to JR on the win and championship. Huge thank you as well to the great broadcast. And apologies to Jeff Dooley there, not Ryan Libby. I accidentally hooked him into Ryan and took them both out end of their night. So I did not want to do that. And somebody made a mistake I definitely could have been avoided. So my apologies to them, and shout out to my spotter Stephen Gale.
Awesome, Lucas. Well, congrats on the runner-up here tonight, and another solid, another great finish for you. So go celebrate with your team there, and we will catch up with you next week at the finale.
Okay.
All right, that was Lucas Cram, 2nd place finisher. It looks like Harrison Chandler comes home in 3rd tonight in his debut race. After starting in 11th, he got caught up there with the number 4 of Dave Fuge, but able to ride it out to top 3, and he is not in the radio channel here, so we're not going to be able to interview him. But that will take us to our results for the race tonight. The full rundown here. We had 5 cautions, 3 lead changes, and J.R. Shepard takes home his 6th victory of the season in race number 9. So great year for him, and he wins again. Lucas Cram comes home 2nd. Harrison Chandler 3rd. Joseph Sizek comes home in the 4th position. Great effort to just run it out here for him, as he was definitely down on speed. Christopher Hyatt comes home 5th, last car on the lead lap, and then everybody else was out of the race. Garland Bennett, Dave Fuge, Richard Murray, Jeff Dooley, and Ryan Libby round out the top 10 here. In 11th, it was Brian Neff, and last of the starters here tonight, Zach Burek, the number 81 machine. John Houston, Josh Hedges, and Matt Fortune did not take to the field here tonight. But your winner was once again J.R. Shepard, his 6th of the season. So big congratulations to him, and we want to thank our sponsors here tonight. That's Blaze Pizza, Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, the sponsor of the event tonight. Also want to shout out Next Level Racing, as well as the ButtKicker, and also Below the Double Yellow podcast, who is a sponsor of the V-Speed channel here. And we want to thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next Wednesday with the NorseForce Valhalla Cup Series. That is going to be the All-Star race, and there's going to be a sim rig up for grabs, a Next Level Racing sim rig, going to be the prize for the victor of that event, and also going to be some money given away for the different stages in the All-Star race, and that is going to be a ton of fun. You will not want to miss that. So tune in on Wednesday at 9 p.m. EST for that event here on Twitch. And if you haven't already, please consider following or subscribing so you can stay notified of what we're doing here. You can find us on YouTube as well with race replays, other interesting automotive and race-related content over there as well. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/vspeedsim, where we post race announcements before each and every broadcast. We post those same announcements on Instagram and Twitter, along with new merchandise, special events, and on-site reporting. You can also find us on our website at vspeedsim.com. But it was once again a presentation of the NorseForce RAIDER SK Modified Series. We want to thank you for coming along for the ride, and we're going to jump in with, looks like we'll jump in with Mr. Dirty Air. And hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast, and we will catch you next time.